Today we are in the middle of winter, in the middle of nowhere, practicing yoga. Why? Because we believe you can practice yoga anywhere, anytime, for any body. Real yoga for real people. So today we're going to be going through the Raja series. And most importantly, I want you to listen to your own body here. Even though we guide you through this practice, always be listening internally to how your body feels, what your mind is saying, and we're going to work through this practice. We're going to work the kinks out of our body, clear our mind. If you guys are ready, let's get started. Welcome to the Raja series, Turbo Edition. We're going to move through these postures just a little bit quicker than we normally do, energizing and heating up the body. So let's begin by coming to the top of the mat. We're going to start off in mountain pose. Big toes are touching, heels are slightly apart. We do not want our ankles to grind one another. Firm up the quadriceps, roll the shoulders back, and open up the heart. Breathing in through the nose, deep breath. Slowly exhale through your throat. Couple more breaths. Feel good about where you are today, not just in this yoga practice, but where you are in your life. Breathing. And here we go. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale through the throat. We're going to interlace our fingers and place them underneath the chin. Elbows come together. As I call it, the breath of life. We're going to take a deep breath in through the nose. Elbows come up, reaching for the sky. Chin stays parallel to the mat. Arching the spine, open the heart. Exhale through the throat and begin to look up towards the sky as the elbows come back together. Reaching with the heart. And repeat. Pranayama breathing. We're bringing in all of this extra oxygen into our body here. And all of this extra oxygen is going to go into the lungs, and it's going to go into the bloodstream, into every single cell in your body. So this is why we always start off all of our practice with a deep pranayama breathing. So we're going to breathe in through the nose, elbows come up, fill the lungs up with as much air as you can possibly hold, and then exhale through the throat. And I want you to force all of the air out of the lungs here. Don't leave one single ounce left in the lungs. We are cleaning the lungs out. And repeat. Now I want you to breathe at your own natural pace, but I want you to challenge your lungs to breathe deeper than you normally breathe. You can even count your breaths, because what I really want you to do is match your inhalations with your exhalations, okay? Let me give you an example. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you hold for a moment, and then exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold for a moment and repeat. So maybe for you it's 5 seconds, maybe it's 10 seconds, or maybe it's 2 seconds. We are not here to compare or to compete or to judge. It is merely a guide. So you can count your own breaths mentally if you like. And if that's not for you or in your practice today, that's okay too. Just keep breathing, deep breaths, fill the lungs up, and then you exhale, force all the air out of the lungs. A few more breaths here before we get started into our practice. Always remember that with each inhalation, we are breathing in all the amazing things that we deserve in this life. All the amazing things that we deserve without desiring the things that we deserve. And with each exhalation, we exhale all the thoughts and ideas that are holding us back. You are just going to be in this practice today. Just be, just flow, not fight yourself. Just allow yourself to move from one posture to the next. Okay, one more breath. Fill the lungs up, everything you have. And then slowly exhale through the throat. All the air. Now I want you to continue this pranayama breathing, arms released down by the sides. But we are continuing this breath in through the nose. exhaling through the throat. This breath we will continue throughout this practice. We're going to bring our hands in front of the heart center. I want you to take a moment here to set your focus, to set your intention of what direction is your life moving in? What direction is this yoga practice moving in? Because once we put our mind to something, we most certainly can accomplish it as long as our heart is in union with the mind. Let's exhale, arms release. Roll the shoulders back, open the heart, breathing our pranayama breath. And let's begin. Sun salutations. Inhale, deep breath, arms overhead, palms are pressing. You are reaching with the shoulders. You are reaching with the rib cage, spine, and slowly exhale, fold forward, flat back, slowly all the way down until your hands come close to the feet. Now, this posture is not necessarily about touching the toes. If you cannot touch your toes here, it is okay. There is no discouragement. You be yourself in this practice today. Ragdoll. Just give up the spine, give up the head and neck, and allow yourself to just be there. The only thing that's holding your body up right now is the structure from the hips, from the waist down. Legs are strong. Okay, let's bend the knees slightly. Bring both hands down to the mat. Step your right foot all the way back into a lunge position. Your left knee is directly on top of the ankle. Inhale, we're going to reach all the way up to the sky, maintaining your balance. If you lose your balance, it's okay. Just come right back. Exhale, arms back behind us. Interlace the fingers, stretching the shoulders, opening the heart, opening up the throat. One more second. Open up and exhale. Hands in front of the heart center. Finding your balance first, and then we're going to exhale, twist the spine, bringing the right elbow across the left leg. Once again, if you lose your balance during any of these postures, it's okay. It's really a part of a yoga practice. Exhale, hands back in front of the heart center. Finding your balance. Both hands come down to the mat. Place both hands to the right of the foot. Releasing your right knee and releasing the right toes behind you. You can stay here in this lizard pose, or you can slowly begin to lower the body down, going a little bit deeper into the left hip. Don't be discouraged if you think for a moment, I don't have flexibility, or yoga is not for me. Yoga is for everybody, and I'm going to prove it to you. All you need to do is relax and listen to your body. Tuck the toes under, right knee comes up, step your left foot all the way back to meet the right, hands and feet shoulder width apart, plank position. Your body should be one long, nice, even plane. Inhale, slowly begin to lower the body down. If you can, I want you to hover over the mat here. If not, you can always release a few seconds early. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Inhale, slowly come back up. Nice and strong shoulders, nice and strong, firm arms, abdomen firm, quadriceps firm. Inhale, slowly lower back down. This time we're going to move into an upward facing dog. Release the toes behind you, arch the spine. Make sure the shoulders are rolled back off away from the ears. Heart is open, protruding the heart forward. Exhale into a downward facing dog. Stretching the legs and the knees back out. Breathing, getting a nice deep stretch here. One more second. We're going to move along with this class. Let's go. Inhale. We're going to step the right foot forward. Underneath. We're going to make sure that right knee is directly on top of the ankle. Inhale. Slowly reaching up towards the sky. Arch the spine. Open up the heart. You are here to believe in yourself this evening. Breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Arms come back behind you. Interlace the fingers, stretching the shoulders, opening the heart, open the throat, and exhale. Hands in front of the heart center. Once again, find your balance first, and then we're going to twist and bring that left elbow across the right leg. Breathing, deep breath, breathing, believing, challenging, learning, living, growing. Exhale. Hands back in front of the heart center. Find your balance, and then we're going to bring the hands back down to the mat. This time, both hands to the left of the foot. Release the left knee, release the toes behind you. You can stay here in this lizard pose, or you can slowly begin to lower the body down. As you notice, Padma is going a little bit deeper into this posture, maybe because she has a little bit more flexibility in the hips. But it's okay if you do not. We're not here to compare to Padma. We're not here to challenge with Padma. You are in your own practice in this moment. Tuck the toes under, knee comes up, step your right foot all the way back to meet the left. Hands and feet, shoulder width apart, plank position. You can always come down to the knees if you need to in plank position. Inhale, slowly begin to lower the body down. I want you to hover over the mat if you can. Even if you only hover for 1 second, it's a 1 second victory. Strong, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Inhale, slowly come back up. One more time. Inhale, lower back down. This time we're going to move into an upward facing dog. Release the toes behind you. Hands are directly underneath the shoulders, maybe slightly behind the shoulders. Roll the shoulders back off the ears. Protrude your heart forward and exhale into a downward facing dog. Stretching the legs and knees back out. You are breathing the breath of life here. The same breath that we started at the beginning of the class. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhaling through the throat. On your next inhalation, I want you to look forward. Either walk or jump. Both feet forward. Back into another forward fold. Ragdoll. Give up your spine. Give up your head. Give up your neck. Give up all the things in your life that are serving you no purpose. Either you will find a way to destroy your stress or it will destroy you. Yoga is a wonderful way at destroying the stress. Hands in front, together, interlace, fingers, index finger released, straight legs, straight spine, straight arms, flat back. Inhale, slowly come up until you are reaching for the sky. Don't stop there. Take another deep breath in and reach with everything you have. And exhale, slowly release. Roll the shoulders back and relax. Half moon pose. Take a nice deep breath in. Fill up the lungs. Inhale, arms overhead, palms press, interlace the fingers, and release the index finger. I want you to slightly tuck the tailbone under here, pushing the pelvis forward slightly. Now we're going to push the hips to the left side of the mat, and naturally the body will curve over to the right side. So we're pushing the hips to the left, curving the body to the right, reaching up and over, chin lifted, legs are firm, abdomen firm, heart is open, breathing, arms pressed against the sides of the head. 1 more second, reach up and over, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Exhale, back to the center. Tucking the tailbone under. We're going to push up, and now we're going to push the hips to the right side of the mat, curving the body up and over to the left. You are stretching the entire body from your right ankle up through the leg, up through the rib cage, up through the shoulder, up through the right arm, all the way to the right fingertips. Little bit more. Push up and over. Heart open, chin lifted, breathing. Nice, strong breath. 1 more second. And exhale back to the center. Tuck the tailbone under, reaching up. Inhale. We're going to move into a back bend. How far back you bend here is up to you, but try to go a little bit further. Not about pain, but a little bit of a challenge here. Exhale, fold forward, reach, flat back, all the way down into our third forward fold. Let's try to go back into this ragdoll. Release the spine, release the head and neck, and we're just going to hang there for a moment. Almost like giving up. Not giving up on life, but giving up on chasing things that don't belong to us in the first place. Hands to feet pose. We're going to bend our knees and we're going to place our fingers up underneath the toes. Now, how far up underneath the toes is entirely up to you. Eventually, maybe the toes will reach your wrists. And we're going to bring the torso into the legs. So you are compressing the upper body into the lower body. And I want you to stay right there if this is challenging enough. If not, I want you to slowly begin to straighten the legs back out. But when you straighten your legs back out, I don't want to see a gap between the upper body and the lower body. No gap. So keep pressing the upper body into the lower body. Few more seconds. Pull your arms down. Pull your forehead down to the shins. Still breathing. Excellent. Bend the knees. Hands come back together, interlace the fingers, release the index finger. Straight arm, straight spine. Inhale, come up. Reach with everything you have. Reach right now as if you have something left in this life to reach for. This is your life. This is your breath. And exhale, release. Roll the shoulders back and relax. Excellent. Now we're going to step the feet about 6 inches apart. We're going to move into our chair pose. You can always take 2 fists and place them together and place them between the feet to approximate what 6 inches is. Now in this series, we're only going to do 1 chair pose, but we're going to hold it a little bit longer here. So let's bring the arms out in front, nice and firm, abdomen firm. Inhale, weight of the body on the heels, slowly begin to sit back into this imaginary chair. How far back you sit is going to be completely up to you, but the weight of the body is on the heels. Now arch your spine a little bit, protrude your heart forward as if the heart was pushing out of the chest and going into this world, putting forth all this good energy. Sit a little bit deeper, keep breathing. We're not holding our breath here. Sit a little bit deeper. 2 more seconds. Go a little bit deeper. A little bit deeper. You got this. Inhale. Slowly come all the way up onto the toes. Inhale the arms up into a nice strong V for victory pose. We have been through many things in this life and many things we bring on to ourselves. But either way, you have made it beyond those things. So you stand here in victory. Excellent. Exhale, release. Keep the arms up because we're going to move into eagle pose. Right arm is going to move in underneath the left. Elbows bend, palms come together. You can always bring both hands to opposite shoulders if that's what works best for your practice. This is real yoga for real people. So here we go. I want you to sit into that imaginary chair again and try to bring your right leg up and over the left. If this is too challenging, you can just remain seated in that imaginary chair. If this is not challenging enough, I want you to take those right toes and tuck them back behind the left calf. Always find where you're at in this practice today. You're not trying to compare. You're not trying to compete. Sit a little bit deeper, arch the spine, open up your heart. A little bit more, a little bit more. And exhale, slowly release. Left arm is going to move underneath the right. Elbows bend, palms come together. Bringing those elbows down into the abdomen a little bit, stretching the back of the shoulders, sit back into an imaginary chair, and slowly bring that left leg up and over the right. Always remember that in yoga, falling out of a posture is not a failure. We have to fall in life to know how to get back up. It's the ebb and flow of life. It's the ebb and flow of yoga. This is why we shoot these videos like we do. If we fall out of a posture, we're not going to cut this out because this is real yoga for real people. Sit a little bit deeper and exhale. Slowly release. Take a moment, drink some water, and if you're in a warmer place than we are, towel off if you need to. Continue your deep breathing, even on your water break. I want you to be aware of this breath of life that continues to flow through us. Now we're going to come to the top of the mat, turn to face the right side of the mat, moving into our warrior series of postures. Take a deep breath, inhale, arms overhead, palms are pressing. Take a big step out to the right, about 4 foot distance as the arms move down parallel to the mat here. I want you to feel nice and strong and firm here, lifting up through the spine, arch the lower spine, open up the heart. We're going to pivot the right foot to the back wall, bend your right knee, and slowly begin to sit into this warrior 2. Now, I want you to notice Padma. Her spine is completely upright here. I do not want you to lean the spine forward or lean to the side. I want the spine to be nice and upright here. Heart is open. We're going to look back across our left fingertips. Palms are going to flip up. And we're going to slowly windmill the arms into this bent knee triangle. So the right hand is reaching for the mat, but I do not want you to rest that right hand on the mat because that's going too far forward. Left arm is reaching up to the sky. Open the shoulders, open up the heart, breathing. Your gaze, if you are able, should be across those left fingertips. And I want you to freeze right there and breathe. Excellent. Inhale, slowly come back up. Straighten your right leg. Pivot the toes to the center. Pivot your left foot to the front of the mat. Bend your left knee and slowly begin to sit into this warrior 2. Spine is straight. Abdomen is firm. Heart is wide open. Shoulders are firm. Look back across your right fingertips. Palms flip up. And we're going to slowly windmill into a bent knee triangle pose. Left hand is reaching for the mat, but it is not touching the mat. right hand is reaching for the ceiling, stack the shoulders, open up the heart. If you need some assistance here with a block, you can always have a yoga block in your left hand, pressing that against the mat. Breathing, freeze. And inhale, slowly come up. Arms are still out there. Left leg is straight, toes pivot to the center. Right foot pivots to the back wall, bend the right knee, and we're going to sit into this warrior 2 again. Now we're going to move into a reverse warrior. So what we're going to do is bring that left hand down to the left leg and inhale the right arm straight up. Looking up across those right fingertips, you can also bring that left arm back behind you here. Open up the right side of the body, open up the rib cage, open up the heart. Exhale, back to the center, straighten your right leg, toes pivot to the center, pivot your left foot to the front of the mat, and the left knee, and sit into this warrior 2. Spine is straight, heart is open, reverse warrior. Bring the right hand to the right leg, the left arm is reaching for the sky here. You are reaching for your dreams. Not the dreams that the world has told you you need to dream, but the dreams that come from your heart, your aspirations, your inspirations. One more second, reach, and exhale, slowly return, left leg straight, toes pivot to the center, hands to the hips. Now we're going to move into a wide stance forward fold here. Always listening to your body more than you're listening to my voice or Padma's instruction. So inhale, slight back bend here, and we're going to exhale, fold forward. We're going to bring the hands all the way down to the mat. Now your first challenge in this posture here is I want you to widen your stance if you are able. So try to bring those feet out a little bit more if you can. If not, then you are right where you should be. Second challenge is I want you to bring your hands out either to the ankles or the outer edges of the feet. You can always take the first 2 fingers on either hand, interlacing them around the big toes. Pull the forehead down towards the mat. If you need a little bit of a more challenge, you can always pull the heart down towards the mat as well. Always listening to your body. The point of yoga is not trying to outdo anyone, it's trying to be ourselves. Let's bend the knees, bring the hands to the thighs, torso comes up halfway. Now we're going to bring the arms behind us and interlace the fingers, stretch the shoulders, open up the heart, exhale, straighten the legs, and fold forward. Once again, always listening to your body. There's nothing to prove here today. There never is anything to prove in yoga. You're just simply coming to this place and just being yourself. Let's bend the knees. Hands to the thighs, torso comes up halfway. Hands to the hips, torso comes up all the way. Now let's shorten our stance a few inches here. Not too much, it's still a fairly wide stance. We're going to pivot the right foot to the back wall, but this time we're going to pick that left foot up and we're going to shift it. It's very important that your hips and shoulders are facing the back of the mat and that you feel very comfortable here. We're going to go into a revolving triangle. Right hand on the right hip. Inhale, the left arm is reaching. Slight back bend if you are able. Exhale, fold forward, reach with everything you have, and bring your left hand all the way down to the mat. You might be able to place it on top of the foot if you can twist a little bit further. Some of you might be able to bring your left hand all the way over to the right side of the foot. Twisting your spine, rotating the right shoulder towards the sky, and eventually, inhale, we're going to reach the right arm up towards the sky. We're going to stack our shoulders and open up our heart. Steady yourself, find your balance, no need to fight yourself here, and exhale. Slowly release both hands to the mat. Now before you move one single vertebrae, bring both hands to the hips, and then inhale, flat back, slowly come up. Excellent. Let's pivot to the center. Let's pivot to the front of the mat. Same thing here. Shifting those feet and your stance so that your hips and shoulders are perfectly facing the front of that mat. Left hand on the left hip. Inhale, right arm is reaching. Slight back bend if you're able. If not, then you are right where you should be. Exhale, fold forward, reach forward. Bringing your hand all the way down to the mat, to the top of the foot, or maybe to the left of the foot. Rotate the spine. Rotate that left shoulder towards the sky, and inhale, the left arm is reaching for the sky. Stack the shoulders, open up the heart, breathing this deep breath. We are still continuing to breathe the pranayama breath that we began at the beginning of this class. One more second. I love it. Excellent. Bring both hands down to the mat. Before you move one single vertebrae, both hands to the hips. Flat back. Inhale, slowly. Come up. We're going to pivot to the center. We're going to pivot to the back wall. Hips and shoulders are perfectly square here. We're going to move into our 3 bandhas, or also known as 3 blocks, as we call it. So we're going to inhale the arms overhead. Palms are pressing, interlace the fingers, release the index finger. Now listen very closely here. I want you to continue reaching up to the sky. Bring your pelvic floor up. Hold it there, also known as a Kegel. Hold that Kegel. Abdomen in, hold it there. Chin to the chest, hold it there. Exhale, all the air out as you fold forward across the right leg. And I want you to bring your forehead into the knee. We're only going to hold this for just a second. Even if you have to bend that knee, it's okay. Now, slowly come back up as you take a nice deep inhalation. First, we're going to release the pelvic floor, then the abdomen, and then the chin from the chest. Excellent. Pivot to the center. Pivot to the front of the mat. Make sure your hips and shoulders are perfectly square. You are reaching. Bring your pelvic floor up. Do not let go of that pelvic floor. Abdomen in, chin to the chest, holding all 3 locks. Exhale, fold forward and roll down across your left leg, bringing your forehead into the knee. Even if you have to bend that knee, it's okay. This is not a failure. This is a progression. You are right where you should be. Inhale, slowly come back up. You're still holding those locks. Do not let go of those locks until those arms are reaching. First, the pelvic floor releases, abdomen, and then the chin. Excellent. Pivot to the center. Hands to the hips. Beautiful. One more time. Let's pivot to the back of the mat. Hips and shoulders are perfectly square. We're going to bring our arms behind us, either in a reverse prayer or the arms can reach for opposite elbows. Keep your back flat. Keep your legs straight. Inhale, slight back bend. And exhale, begin to slowly fold forward. Keep your back straight. I only want you to bring your forehead down as far as you can, as long as the spine remains straight. If you are curving the spine just to bring the forehead into the leg, we're already losing the posture here. This is why the arms are behind the back. Go into your maximum stretch. Inhale, flat back, slowly come up. Keep the arms right where they are. Pivot to the center. Pivot to the front of the mat. Hips and shoulders are square, facing the front of the mat. You guys are doing excellent today. So here we go. Inhale, slight back bend, and exhale. We're gonna flat back, fold forward. Eventually, the forehead may rest on the shin, but only if the back is flat here. Keeping the back as flat as we can. Now, anatomically, we'll never truly flatten out the back, but we're trying to imagine a flat back. Let's inhale. Slowly come up, flat back. Right foot steps forward to meet the left. Arms release. Inhale the arms overhead. Stretch those shoulders. I want you to reach for the sky. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And exhale, release. Take another moment. Drink some water and towel off. Okay, so now we're going to come to the middle of the mat. We're going to move into our standing series of postures, starting off in a mountain pose. Feel nice and strong and firm. Let's bring our hands together in front of our heart center. If we need a little bit more motivation, let's reset our focus. Let's reset our intention. Because you didn't come this far to give up now. You didn't come this far to go from 100% effort down to 80% effort. We are back at 100%. Here we go. Arms release. Hands to the hips. Standing forehead to knee pose. We're going to bend our right knee and we're going to bring our leg up parallel to the mat. 90-degree bend in the knee. Toes flexing towards the face. You can stay here or you can interlace the fingers around the right knee. Roll the shoulders back and open up the heart. If this is where you stay, then this is where you need to stay. Excellent. Or you can interlace the fingers underneath your right foot. Interlacing those fingers, curve your spine down to that right leg, lock that left knee out, engage the left quadricep, and inhale, slowly begin to straighten the right leg out in front. Where you are is where you are supposed to be. If there's a bend in your knee, it is okay. If there's a bend in your life right now, it is okay. It will work itself out over time. And always remember, if you fall out of a posture, that too is okay. Just challenge yourself to get right back in. Locking the left knee out, engage the quadricep. Lock the right knee out, engage the quadricep. Right toes flex back towards the face. Excellent. Let's exhale. Release. Hands to the hips. Bending the left knee, 90-degree angle. The leg becomes parallel to the mat. Toes flex up towards the face. You can stay here, or you can interlace the fingers around the left knee, roll the shoulders back, and open up the heart. You can stay here, but if you choose to stay here, feel strong about staying here. Feel good about staying here. If not, you can go forward by interlacing the fingers underneath the left foot, curving the spine into the left leg, and slowly begin to straighten the left leg out in front. If you lock the right knee out, engage your quadricep of the right knee so we don't hyperextend the knee. Same thing with the left leg. And eventually the forehead comes down towards the leg, toes flex towards the face, elbows in towards the leg. Don't fight yourself here, just be. Just float. And exhale. Release. Roll the shoulders back, open up the heart. We continue to breathe the pranayama breath of life here. In through the nose. Exhale through the throat. Dancer's pose, right elbow to the right hip, left arm is reaching for the ceiling. We're going to curl the right leg behind us, and we're going to grip the right ankle from the inside of the leg, palm facing upward. You could stay here, reaching with everything you have, or you could slowly begin to float the body forward, reaching for the front as your right leg begins to extend up towards the sky. Always remember, there's no competition, there's no comparison. There's no need to look at Padma. There's no need to look at yoga magazines or yoga websites and say, hey, I can't do what they're doing. You are doing exactly what you should be doing, listening to your body and flowing with that body. I want you to get to where you're going and just be there. Let's exhale. Slowly release. Switching sides, left elbow, left hip, right arm reaching, heart open. Curl your left leg behind you, gripping the ankle from the inside of the leg, palm facing upward. You can stay right here, but if you do, choose to stay here strong, or you can begin to just slowly float the body forward, reaching for the front wall. The front of the mat. We're not in a building here today. Left leg is kicking up towards the sky, arching the spine. Left shoulder is open, heart is open. Now just be here, just float here. Let's slowly exhale, release. Awesome. Let's step to the back of the mat, facing the front of the mat. Warrior 3, balancing stick pose. Let's inhale the arms overhead, palms pressing, interlace all of your fingers, release those index fingers. Small step forward with the right foot, come up onto your left toes. You can stay right here, heart wide open, or you can slowly float the body forward, reaching for the front of that mat as the left leg moves up and parallel to the mat. Breathing, extending, arms pressed against the sides of the head. Get to where you're going and just float, just be. And exhale. Release. Keep the arms reaching. Small step forward with the left foot. Come up onto the right toes. Reaching with everything you have. You can stay here or you can slowly float the body forward. Reaching for the front of the mat as your right leg extends parallel to the mat. Now the thing about effort in yoga, you are putting forth 100% effort until you get to where you're going. And then it's like jumping off a cliff. All effort should be abandoned and you should just be. Excellent. Slowly release. Arms release. Roll the shoulders back. Open up the heart. Breathing in through the nose. Nice deep breath. Exhale through the throat. Wonderful. Tree pose. Hands to the hips. We're going to bring our right foot either to the inside of the calf of the left leg or up into the inner thigh, or you can bring the right foot up to the crease of the left leg, where the left leg joins the hip. Hands in front of the heart center. Inhale, arms up, reaching, open the heart, open the lungs. This is our second victory pose. We do not need anyone in this life to validate us in order to feel victorious. Exhale, hands back in front of the heart center. Now you can stay right here, challenging your balance, or you can move into a toe stand by bending the left knee, folding forward, placing the hands on the mat, and sitting back to the left heel. Now, where does that left heel go? Well, it really depends on what it feels like to you. Some people place the left heel on the left glute, some on the right glute, and some right in the center. Just listen to your body and you will know exactly what to do. Exhale. Everybody release back into a standing posture if you're not already. Hands to the hips, one more side. We're going to bring our left foot either up to the calf area, up into the inner thigh, or we're going to place that left foot up across the crease of the right leg. Hands in front of the heart center. If you need to, you might be able to hold the leg there and only bring one hand to the center of the heart. Inhale. Arms reaching, open up the arms, open up the heart. This is our third victory pose. I want you to think about something right now in your life that you've been through. That when you were in it, you thought, I don't know if I can make it through this. But you made it through it. You should stand victorious over those things. Let's exhale, hands back in front of the heart center. You can stay here, challenging your balance. Or you can move into a toe stand by bending the right knee, folding forward, bringing the hands down to the mat, and sitting back onto the right heel. Where that heel goes is completely up to you. Always be careful. You are listening to your body. You're listening to your breath. If you made it down into this toe stand, try to find your balance. And even if for a second, bring the hands back in front of the heart. Always remember, there are no failures in yoga. Excellent. Let's exhale, release. One more posture before we move down into our first rest pose. We're going to step to the back of the mat. Widen your stance a little bit here. Toes should be facing out towards the outer edges of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead, palms pressing. We are still putting forth 100%. You are not going to give up here. Hands, exhale in front of the heart center. Always listen to any knee or spine issue you may have. Inhale. We're going to slowly move into a modified wide stance garland pose. Palms pressing, elbows inside the inner knees. Spine is straight, heart is open. Now we have a few options here. You can stay here, or you can bring your hands down to the mat and move into a crow pose, or maybe even a crane pose here. You may even want to challenge yourself in moving into a headstand. Always be careful and listen to your body. Some of you might even move into a scorpion pose here. Just listen to your body, listen to your breath. It's always good to challenge ourselves to move beyond our limitations. But remember, yoga is not about pain. Yoga is about finding that center within us. Let's exhale, slowly release. Excellent, Padma. We're going to turn over onto our spine as we are moving into our first rest pose. Feel free to drink some water on the way over. Because this particular class is what we call Raja Series Turbo Edition, just means we're moving a little bit quicker through these postures. So we're not going to actually stay very long in this rest pose either. So moving right along, we're going to bend the right knee. We're going to bring the right knee up into the chest when removing pose. I want you to bring that right knee slightly out towards the right shoulder. Be careful of any rib injury. Be careful of the digestive system. Flex all your toes back towards the face. Engage your left quadricep. Nice and firm. Let's exhale. Switch. Bring your left knee up into the chest, slightly out towards the shoulder. Interlace the fingers around the left knee. Pull the knee in. Flex all of your toes. Back towards the face. Engage your right quadricep. A little bit more, a little bit more. And exhale. Release. I want you to bend both knees. Bring both knees up into the chest. Interlace the arms around the legs. Pull those knees into the chest. Feet are relaxed. Breathing. And exhale, straighten the legs up towards the ceiling. In our case today, the sky. Your toes are flexed back towards the face. You can stay here, or you can challenge yourself to move into a shoulder stand here. If you're choosing to move into a shoulder stand, I want you to be very careful of any kind of neck issue or spine injury. Always listening to your body. Yoga is not about creating injury or pain. As you see Padma use her hands to walk up into the shoulder stand. If that's not where you're at today, it's more than okay. You are right where you should be. Breathing this pranayama breath. We have not given up on this breath of life. Let's slowly bring the hips back down to the mat, but I want your legs straight up towards the sky. Feet are flexed back towards the face, and we're going to slowly exhale. Bring the legs back down towards the mat. Do not let those feet touch the mat. If you can hold them and hover them over the mat, then I want you to challenge yourself here. Maybe you can even scissor your legs a little bit here if that's in your practice. Challenge those inner obliques, outer obliques. Breathing. And exhale, release. Now we're going to move into a spinal twist here. So I want you to bend the left knee, foot flat on the mat. And we're going to shift to the right hip. And we're going to lift that left leg up, twisting it over across the right. And I'm going to challenge you to bring your left arm back across to the left. Looking across those left fingertips. Nice little twist here. And exhale back to the center. Switching sides. Bending the right knee, foot flat on the mat, shifting your weight to the left hip. And picking that right leg up over the left. Twisting the spine, looking back across your right fingertips here. Now, eventually, what you want to try to manage here is to keep the shoulders on the mat and the right knee on the mat. A little bit challenging here. If that's not where you're at, it's okay. It's more than okay. But exhale, back to the center. Bending both knees, both feet flat on the mat, foot to knee pose. So we're going to bring our left foot up and lay it across the right knee. Now we're going to send that left arm between the legs. The right arm on the outside of the right leg. Interlace the fingers around your right knee. Pull the knee deep into the chest, opening up the left hip here. And for an extra challenge, you can always bring the forehead up to meet the right knee. A little bit more here. Let's exhale. Release. Switching sides. Right foot lays across the left knee. Interlace the fingers around the left knee. Interlace the fingers. Pull the knee into the chest. Really open up the right hip. And eventually we're going to bring the forehead up to the left knee here. And exhale, release. Bend both knees, both feet flat on the mat. Inhale, arms reaching overhead. We're going to slowly move into a boat pose. So inhale, come up. Straightening those right legs out in front if we can. If that's not where you are today, it's okay. Challenge the body to stay here for 2 more seconds. 1 more second. Slowly exhale, release upright. Turn over onto your abdomen for our Cobra series of postures. A few more postures left in this class. Now we're going to move through all 3 of these Cobra series postures consecutively. So let's go ahead and get ready. Hands underneath the shoulders, elbows into the ribs, legs together as if they were one leg. Inhale, slowly the chest and only the chest comes up. Shoulders rolled back away from the ears. If you feel like you are relying too much on the hands, remove the hands from the mat. Come up a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. Don't give up on me, a little bit higher. Exhale, release, arms beside us. Legs together, full locust pose. Inhale, the entire torso comes up. Knees and feet come up, arching the spine, opening the heart. I want you to protrude your heart forward. Open the shoulders, open up the throat. Come up a little bit higher, breathe a little bit stronger. Exhale, slowly release. Bend both knees, both feet come towards the sky. Hands come back behind us, gripping the ankles or the feet. Challenging yourself here with the floor bow pose. Inhale, all the air the lungs can hold. The entire torso comes up. Arch the spine, open the heart, open the shoulders, open up the throat. Come up a little bit higher. This is your life, this is your breath, this is your everything. 1 more second. Inhale and exhale, release. Back into a child's pose. Breathing the deep breath of life. This is your life. This is your breath. Do not give your power away to those who do not care about you. Let's inhale. Slowly come up into a kneeling position. And we're going to move into Reclining Hero. So let's separate the heels so we can sit the glutes between the heels. Sitting up straight. If your knees hurt, I want you to stay here for just a moment. If not, recline onto the hands or the elbows or the spine. If you choose to recline all the way onto the spine, arch your spine, open your heart, protrude the heart forward. Now, if you have a little bit of knee pain here, I want you to go back as far until you begin to feel discomfort in the knees, even if that means you're still sitting up. Right when you start to feel discomfort, just stay right there because we're going to work this knee problem out over time. Let's support the body. Inhale, come up. We're going to move into a downward facing dog, stretching the legs and knees back out for just a moment. Now we're going to bring the knees down to the mat for some cat-cow. So I want you to inhale, open the heart, arch the spine, lifting up, looking up, and on your exhalation, we round the spine, tuck the tailbone, chin to the chest. 2 more. Inhale, arching, looking up. Exhale, chin to the chest, rounding the spine. Excellent. Moving along. We're going to move into a camel pose now. So on the knees, the body comes upright. Separate your knees about 12 inches. Hands back behind us as if you were putting your hands in your back pockets, supporting the lower back. Arching the spine, open the heart, inhale, move into a slight back bend here. You can stay here or place one hand at a time on your heels, moving into a camel pose. Push the pelvis forward as if you were pushing up against a wall. Arch the spine, open the heart, inhale. Always supporting that lower spine. Slowly come back up, sitting back onto your heels, knees together, rabbit pose. Exhale, bring your hands behind you, gripping the heels. As we round the spine, bring the forehead into the knees. If you need a little bit more of a challenge here, you can always roll like a wheel. Don't put so much weight on the forehead or the top of the head or the neck. We're going to exhale. Slowly release. Turn over onto your spine for our second rest pose. 30-second rest pose. I want you to give up as quickly and completely as you can. Give up the head and neck. Give up the teeth and tongue. Give up the shoulders. Give up the arms. Give up the legs, the hips, the glutes, the abdomen. And just be. Just relax. We're going to bend the knees, feet flat on the mat. We're going to move into either a bridge pose or a wheel pose. A bridge pose is where your arms stay beside you, palms flat, and we begin to just simply push the hips towards the sky, arching the spine. You can even lift one leg at a time here, challenging yourself further. Now you could stay here in this bridge pose, or you can move into a wheel pose by bringing the palms back beside the ears, lifting the entire body up towards the sky, arching the spine, open the heart. Padma, that looks excellent. Slowly exhale, return to the mat, bringing the knees into the chest, interlacing the arms around the legs, pull the knees into the chest, relax and release that lower spine. You can always rock from side to side, front to back. The wonderful thing about yoga is you can experiment with it and find what works best for you. Let's exhale, straighten the legs up towards the sky. We're not done with working on our core yet. Toes flexed back towards the face. If you'd like to move into a plow pose here, it's a little bit deeper than a shoulder stand. You can also move into a shoulder stand again, or you can stay right where you are. If you are uncertain about a certain posture or movement, I would rather you stay where you are. Yoga is not about pain, and it's certainly not about injury. In the shoulder stand, we always bring the legs back across the face. We're going to slowly release the hips down towards the mat. Legs are reaching the sky, toes are flexed back towards the face, and let's slowly, well first, actually let's separate the feet here about 2 feet. So the legs are nice and wide, and we're going to slowly lower the heels back down, really working the outer obliques here. Now, when those heels get close to the mat, I want you to hover them over the mat. And exhale, release. Bending the knees, feet flat on the mat. One more time, we're going to move into a boat pose. So arms reaching overhead, palms pressing. Inhale, nice and slow here, coming up as the legs slowly straighten. Arms straighten into a boat pose. Now, eventually, a modification here is to interlace the fingers around the big toes and begin to widen the legs outwards here. This is very challenging as far as flexibility and balance and concentration. I love it. Let's exhale. Slowly release. Seated forward folds. Right leg reaches for the front of the mat. Left foot to the inner thigh. Arms overhead. Not 90%, not 99%. I want 100% here. Reaching. Exhale. Fold forward across the right leg. And just relax. Just be. Giving up. Challenging. You can always modify into a revolving forward fold here. If you have any questions about any posture or how to modify it one way or another, check out our tutorial section where we explain everything that we can about each posture. Let's exhale, release. Left leg is straight, right foot to the inner thigh, arms are reaching, heart is wide open. Heart is always open in yoga. Let's exhale, fold forward, across the left leg. Do not judge your flexibility. I do not want you to say things like, I'm not flexible or I'm not this. I want you to focus on what you are, not so much on what you cannot do. You are a beautiful, amazing human being with a lot of light and love. Working some kinks out of your body today, feeling better. Let's exhale. Release. Both legs out front, arms reaching, heart open. And exhale, fold forward across both legs. Just allowing yourself to be. Just allowing yourself to breathe, to exist. Not fighting anything, not creating anything, just being. Let's exhale, slowly release. One more posture. We're going to turn over into a downward facing dog. This series today would not be complete without pigeon pose. Inhale, right leg is reaching for the sky. We're going to fold the right leg up and underneath the torso. Lay your right leg sideways across the mat. Scoot the left toes as far back to the back of the mat as you can. Sit up straight, open the heart, arch the spine. Inhale, reaching if it is in your practice. And exhale, fold forward, cross the right leg. With every pose, there is a modification that fits where you are in your life, that fits where your body is. Yoga is very much like life in general. There are always modifications and things. So you fit into where you're at. We don't always have to feel that we are complacent with where we're at. Maybe you're in the exact spot that you need to be in. Take some time in this moment, just like your hip is loosening up, just like your hip is trying to be used to being in this posture. Just take some time and get used to being where you are in your life. You will know in your heart if it's time to move forward or if it's time to stay. Let's exhale. Slowly release into a downward facing dog. Left leg is reaching for the sky. Fold the left leg underneath the torso. Lay it sideways across the mat. Releasing the right leg as far back to the back of the mat as we can. Sit up straight. Heart open. Reaching if it is in your practice. And exhale. Fold the body forward across the left leg. There's too many times in my life that I tried to make things happen. I tried to make them happen prematurely because I was thinking with the mind. And the mind said, do this, do this, do this. But many of those things, they got me into trouble because I would prematurely create this action that had a better time for it. Now, the heart knows the timing of all things. The heart knows when you should move and when you should stay. This is why in yoga we always say, let's get in touch with our heart, because it's more than just moving through postures today. It's getting in touch with who we are and knowing what we should do moment by moment. Let's exhale, slowly release into a downward facing dog. Knees come to the mat. We're going to turn over onto our spine. Moving into our third rest pose. Also our final rest pose for this class. I want you to give up. I want you to relax. I want you to open up your heart and just be. Imagine that your heart is opening up like a satellite dish, ready to receive signals from beyond, to receive those signals into your heart that say, whatever you're going through right now, it's okay. To receive signals that say, you are right where you should be. To receive these signals of love, of patience, of kindness, of success. Because true success in this life has nothing to do with money or materialistic goods. True success in this life is understanding that we all have a calling, discovering that calling, and being that calling, exemplifying that calling. Because if we were judging success based on money and materialistic things, then we could easily say that people like Mother Teresa was a great failure. But the love that poured forth from Mother Teresa, exemplifying her calling, shows just how amazing of a success her life was. It's not to say that we don't use money or materialistic things, but it's the greater understanding that we're not attached to them. Let's take a moment of silence at the end of this practice. No longer controlling the breath, but just allowing the breath to breathe. We're going to inhale. We're going to roll to the right side of the mat, onto the right hip, into a fetal position. Notice how much deeper your breath is now than when we began this class. We are retraining the lungs, the cardiovascular system, and the brain to breathe much deeper and to be much more relaxed. Let's inhale, move into a seated position, whatever is comfortable for you. Thank you guys for joining us today on this beautiful sunny day. Always remember that yoga is more than just postures. It is more than just moving the body. It's understanding our deeper self. It's understanding that we are more than this body, that we are more than our mind, we are more than our thoughts. To take some time to find out what this is the greatest journey of this life. Thank you so much. Thank you, Padma. Namaste.